Remember when we thought quarantine would only last for a couple of weeks? We were all going to get in shape, pick up a new hobby, maybe even clean the house. Instead, we learned just how bored our dogs must be when we leave them to go to work. One day, my wife said, "I think you should take better care of yourself. I think you should go on Weight Watchers." And I thought, what did I do? But just like that, one of the last remaining sources of joy in my life was stripped away. We have all lost something this year. Some have lost much more than others. It's been exhausting. But as the weeks stretched into months, I wasn't sure if what I was feeling was grief or hunger. I needed answers in a sandwich. As a qualitative researcher, I dig into people's stories to understand our shared experiences. So, in June, I took off my daytime pajamas and began investigating what was happening to us in this isolation. What I found is we are collectively stuck in a loop of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, but with no end in sight, there's no closure. With no closure, there can be no acceptance. So, we keep transitioning back to denial, repeating the process. While what we grieve varies from person to person, there's one thing I found that almost everyone is grieving: the loss of a sense of normalcy, of familiarity, of routine. In essence, we're grieving the loss of our habits. To find our way out of this quicksand of grief, we need to close this grief loop and open a new habit loop. First, what's a habit? Habits are rituals or behaviors repeated regularly, subconsciously, and involuntarily. Remember hugging your friends when you saw them? How great was that? According to a Duke University study, habits comprise up to 40% of our daily behaviors. They're why we don't have to think about how we brush our teeth or tie our shoes, and they're the reason that we can get to work, but we have no idea what happened in our commute. They're how we order the same thing at Starbucks every day, even though we don't want to. Habits are like airplane mode for our brains. They allow us to power down, but not to power off. They enable us to redirect our energy from surviving to thriving and back again. And habits don't just manifest themselves physically. We have emotional habits, the foundation of our EQ, and mental habits, the foundation of our paradigms. I mean, did you really have to think about how to feel when you saw these longing eyes? Habits are formed through what author Charles Duhigg describes as the habit loop. A routine is triggered by a cue and reinforced by a reward. A cue, a routine, a reward. Same process every time. Cues can be almost anything: a location, time of day, a physical item, an emotional state, other people, an image, a commercial, maybe even a preceding event. Whatever their form, cues elicit a specific behavior in pursuit of a reward. Rewards reinforce a specific behavior or response to the cue. They can be anything from a piece of chocolate to dopamine or oxytocin, not Oxycontin. That's different. Whatever form they take, they're meaningful to the individual. The response or ritual that you do in reaction to experiencing the cue and in pursuit of the reward is subconscious, desirable, repeatable, and according to our pets, often delectable. The disruption of our habit loops is one reason why every day feels like a week, every week like a month. While we have socially distanced, we didn't need to be socially distant. We need to find new ways to connect. True, only getting half dressed does have its perks, but the lines between our work life and our home life have been forever blurred. Zoom is no substitute for proximity. We are always on stage, always playing a part. Although our habits can't be erased, they can be replaced. So for the love of God, please take a shower, turn off the news, put on some pants, allow yourself to dream again and find what new normal means to you. Weight Watchers clearly didn't work for me, but it opened me up to new ideas. I'm doing yoga now. Yeah, a fat guy doing yoga is as funny as it sounds, but it's a start. I think that's the point. Grandma used to say, "What's your thoughts? For they become your words. What's your words? For they become your actions. What's your actions? For they become your habits. And what's your habits? For they become your reality." May your tomorrow be better than your yesterday. Thank you.